Alrighty, hello everybody, and welcome to the 200 subscriber special. First things first, before anything else, thank you everybody who has subscribed to my channel in the year and a half-ish or so that I've been doing it. It means absolutely everything to me, and I just want to thank every single one of you because it does mean a lot. I'm sure people have heard this said by other YouTubers a lot, but you know, when you're 200 is not, it's a lot, but it's not a lot at the same time. So, it means a lot to me. So, yeah, thank you everybody who has subscribed. It means a lot. I hope you stick around to watch many more of my videos in the future. But to celebrate all 200 of you, today we are doing a doubles tournament on Pokemon Showdown. To celebrate 100, we did a single tournament, so kind of makes sense to do a doubles tournament for 200. We probably won't be doing a triples tournament for 300, though, because triples is a very forgotten format. We'll just get that out of the way now. But anyways, we are doing the doubles tournament for 200, so I hope you guys enjoy it. We got a bunch of cool matches. We did a 4-person double elimination bracket, so the video is going to be a little shorter than the first special was, probably, and I'm sorry about that. The first special, we recorded a couple extra battles that weren't really meant to be recorded, and they got thrown in there, and that made the video a little longer. That didn't happen this time. We have the exact number of battles we need, so yeah, video might be ever so slightly shorter, but I still appreciate everybody all the same. So yeah, anyways, let's go ahead and get on to the actual battles with the post narration. So yeah, here we go. We're gonna jump into the battles. We got it's double elimination, so we have winners round 1, which has 2 matches. Then we have losers bracket round 1, winners bracket round 2, losers bracket round 2, and then the finals. So yeah, let's go ahead and get on with the matches. Alrighty, so here we are. Let's go ahead and show the bracket. This is going to be what we are going to do for the first couple of rounds. This is just the round 0 bracket. And yeah, let's go ahead and get into this first match with me and Swazu, or Rune. He was in the last tournament. He has been in a lot of different videos and streams that I've done, so a lot of people should recognize him. Either way, I go ahead and lead with my Mouse Hold and Hisui Samurott combo. These two, I've made a very interesting combo with them. Population Bomb is boosted by the Sharpness ability, but obviously Mouse Hold is the only Pokemon that learns that move, and he doesn't get that ability. Samurott gets Sharpness, and can use Copycat to copy the Population Bomb from Mouse Hold. So that was my strat there. Unfortunately, it worked against me because Farigiraf here had a Rocky Helmet, and I obliterated myself to Rocky Helmet recoil damage. So very unfortunate, but you know, pretty solid idea nonetheless, I feel. Ryun does some setting up that turn with a Shell Smash and a Trick Room. Personally, I think Shell Smash is probably not the best idea for a Trick Room team because it makes you faster, which is not ideal in Trick Room. Curse and taking a little bit more time to set up probably would have been better, but obviously Shell Smash is a new move to Torterra, and I'm sure Ryun just kind of wanted to have a little bit of fun with it. Either way, this turn I decide to U-turn as I send out Paldean Tauros. Then I realize Paldean Tauros is kind of a bad matchup against these two, so I end up switching out, and this is the Aqua Breed Tauros. We switch in King Gambit as Farigiraf sets up, and the switch was really useful because we ended up resisting that crit double edge and taking out Farigiraf with U-turn. I now pivot back to Tauros to proc Intimidate again to lower Torterra's attack, as Ditto gets sent out and intimidates me, which then procs my King Gambit's Defiant. Unfortunately, I do kind of waste that Defiant activation, mostly because King Gambit is obviously 4 times weak to fighting. I figured I should probably not leave him in against Ditto. It will most likely just go for me and try to take me out, and So I switch into Amoonguss, as Tauros just barely lives a Bullet Seed and is able to set up Bulk Up. And then Rock Slide wouldn't have actually done that much damage to King Gambit, but I decided switching out was probably my safer call nonetheless. Now I feel like I'm in a bit of a pinch with Tauros getting low. I do have half of a Bulk Up set up, but that half is the only part that I really need if I choose to go for Body Press, which I do after doing a Terra. And on Amoonguss, I can just use Pollen Puff to heal Tauros, and because of the Trick Room my opponent set up, I move first and heal Tauros immediately. So, very nice move there. Ryun sets up a Sword Stance and goes for another Rock Slide. Tauros dodges the flinch again from Rock Slide and is able to do sizable damage to Torterra. At this point, I'm not exactly sure what I'm feeling. I think I just go for another Body Press on Torterra to try to finish it off. Yep. And with Amoonguss here, I go for Spore on Ditto to try to just shut it down so it can't do much. And Amoonguss does end up going down to Double Edge, but so does Torterra, so my attack ended up hitting Ditto instead after it got put asleep. So now it is asleep and under half health. Pretty solid turn all around. Out comes Cloyster on my opponent's side and Tornadus on my side. I go for a Tailwind. Prankster, Tornadus will obviously go first with support moves, as I set up another Bulk Up with Tauros. Tornadus takes sizable damage from Rock Slide, and Cloyster sets up a Substitute. At this point, I'm ready to kind of just start sweeping things and finish this match off. So we go for Body Press on... I've kind of forgotten, honestly. What am I doing post me? Go for Body Press on the enemy Ditto to try to finish it off. And attempt a Bleak Wind Storm just to see what's going on, as my opponent double switches into Slacking and Wheezing, which was unfortunate as Slacking took incredible damage from the first attack and then got finished off by Bleak Wind Storm, and now Ditto's Imposter doesn't activate because of Wheezing's neutralizing gas, which the Slacking and Wheezing combo was a good idea. It just unfortunately did not work out too well, as I feel that Ryun tried to implement it too late into the battle. I think he would have done better using this strategy outright instead of like trying to switch into it in the manner that he did. Also, a double switch in a double battle like this, that was just a very, very risky move altogether, and kind of threw the match in a bit. But yeah, we pick off Cloyster with a super effective Body Press, or I guess it isn't actually super effective, just did a lot of damage, and then finish off Wheezing. I don't know why I set up Tailwind there, probably should have gone for Bleak Wind Storm, but either way, not a very important, because we can just finish this off with Raging Bull on this following turn here. And that was the first match. That is one win for me. And now we will go ahead and recap. Here is the updated bracket, which we are doing double elimination, so Ryun is not out quite yet. He does have another chance. And now we are on to Carrot the Parrot versus Linguini Ansorini, or Goose, as I will call him. And Carrot was... both of these players were intended to be in the first tournament, but were unable to make it. So this is kind of both of their redemption of getting to partake in this tournament. So yeah, we have a pretty impressive play from Carrot with the missing the fake out into the Stomping Tantrum. He had told me afterwards that was like half intentional, So, pretty good play. Ariyama so far sweeping pretty substantially. Guts boosted in the Trick Room is very, very solid for Ariyama. Goose's team not doing so hot so right now. Fake Out missing, I think again intentionally to set up Stomping Tantrum on the following turn. Farigiraf going down and Ariyama taking pretty sizable damage from Drain Punch. Stun Spore unfortunately missing off of the Bonnet, and then Ariyama going for Drain Punch as well to keep alive. And Goose unfortunately misclicking and targeting his own Pokemon, not one of the enemies. Very, very sad on that part. Goose sending out the Garchomp, doing pretty sizable damage to Ariyama, who heals back a little bit with Drain Punch, but not much after the burn and recoil from Garchomp's Rough Skin. Bonnet and Ariyama both going down on the following turn. Things starting to somewhat look nice for Goose's side. Outcoming Primeape and Torkoal. Torkoal taking sizable damage. Primeape almost fainting, but getting the revenge kill with Rage Fist. And Torkoal doing decent damage with Eruption. Unfortunately, where Trick Room had ended, Torkoal did not outspeed, so taking damage beforehand made that Eruption do less damage. Primeape getting taken out by a Throat Chop. And Torkoal taking out Garchomp just barely with an Overheat. Both are Carrot side looking much better at this point. Outcoming the last Pokemon, Scovillain, Icicle Crash missing, and Sneasel going down to a Flamethrower at the very end. So there we have the end of round 1. Here is the updated bracket once again. And now we will move on to the first round of losers bracket to see which one of these two is eliminated and which one gets to continue forward. So we have Ryun and Goose. Got almost the exact same leads from both of them. Throat Chop doing very large damage to Farigiraf, and Shadow Ball not doing any due to it being half Ghost type. Same lead move from Ryun from the last match, except this time he remembered he could Terra. Terra normals and just barely survives an attack from Typhlosion, but and almost goes down to the recoil damage. Both sides losing a Pokemon on that turn. Lots of switching around going on. Ditto coming out. Typhlosion attacking a normal type with a ghost type move. Very unfortunate. Cloyster coming out on Ryun's side. The Sash on the Ditto keeping it alive from the waterfall. Cloyster setting up Substitute. Ditto unfortunately flinching. But a Future Sight that had been used on a previous turn finally goes through and takes out the enemy Typhlosion. Gardevoir coming back out on Goose's side. Ditto going down on the following turn. Cloyster setting up another Substitute to have it immediately broken by Moonblast. Wheezing coming out on Ryun's side. Dazzling Gleam KOing Cloyster and doing sizable damage to Wheezing. Aqua Tail doing another decent chunk of damage to Wheezing as Wheezing sets up Toxic Spites. Out comes Slacking as the last Pokemon, KOing Swampert with Body Slam, but taking pretty decent damage to Dazzling Gleam as Wheezing sets up another layer of Toxic Spikes. Hitmonchan coming into that double layer, getting immediately Toxic Poisoned. Slacking doing decent damage with Body Slam before getting KO'd by Close Combat. And Wheezing unfortunately getting finished off by Dazzling Gleam, eliminating Ryun. But his team was very neat. I did like the coughing, Wheezing, and Slacking combo. It was very cool. But now we are going to move on to round 2 and do myself versus Carrot. I am also going to pick the first lead, or the same first lead from my first match going into this one. And Carrot is going to lead Farigiraf and Ariyama, so we both picked this same first lead. This time, I think I go for some stall tactics before immediately attacking. Or... no, I remember what happens. I go for the double population bomb strategy, but unfortunately Samurott gets hit with Fake Out and is not able to do anything. Luckily, Carrot's Farigiraf does not have Rocky Helmet, so Mousehold does sizable damage to Farigiraf with Population Bomb. Samurott unfortunately flinching as Farigiraf sets up the Trick Room. This turn, I pull out the stall tactics and go for a double protect just to kind of see what Carrot was scheming. Drain Punch and Dazzling Gleam both failing because of the 2 protects being set up. Farigiraf unfortunately healing from leftovers, but Ariyama taking slight damage from his burn. Obviously, where he does have Drain Punch, that burn damage is not necessarily permanent, but still could be useful in a pinch. And speaking of being in a pinch, I recognize that I am in one. I attempt to U-turn out and switch into Amoonguss with Samurott. Samurott comes back for Amoonguss. Helping Hand goes up, and Mousehold gets obliterated by Drain Punch. So, yeah, no U-turn being used, unfortunately, but will have to do for now. I go ahead and send Samurott back out, Detect with Samurott, and go for Spore on Farigiraf. Primeape switching in, and Brute Bonnet switching in, which is quite unfortunate because now my Spore fails. And on this turn, I'm a bit confused and not really sure what I want to do. So I go ahead, and I think this is the turn that I show off where the doubles Nat Dex in this comes from, and I use a Z move on the Primeape, which switches back to Farigiraf as I protect on Amoonguss and take out Farigiraf with Hydro Vortex. Good old Z moves. Everybody remember Z moves? Primeape coming back in after the fainted Farigiraf. I now am not really sure what I want to do with Samurott because I am quite weak to these fighting types. I decide to go for Ceaseless Edge to try to set up a layer of spikes. I think I select that. There we go. And we try to go for Spore on the Primeape. Unfortunately, Samurott gets hit with Fake Out again. Amoonguss gets hit with the Drain Punch. And, yeah. Primeape has Vital Spirit, cannot be put to sleep. So that was a real eventful turn on my part, eh? So this time I try to go for Ceaseless Edge again? Or do I settle with Aqua Cutter? No, Ceaseless Edge it is. I want to try to get this layer of spikes up. And I go for Pollen Puff to try to heal up Samurott, who takes sizable damage from Gunk Shot and gets poisoned, and then is unfortunately finished off by Drain Punch, causing Pollen Puff to fail because I selected to use it on my teammate that I no longer have. Out now coming Tornadus, who is probably going to be absolutely is, spoiler, the savior of this battle. We go for a Rain Dance on him, and I think I go with Pollen Puff to try to heal him in anticipating that he will take damage, which was the case. Gets about half health by Gunk Shot, and then takes more damage from Brick Break, only to then be healed up pretty sizably by Pollen Puff. Now I go for Bleak Wind Storm, which will not miss anymore because of the rain, and will hit both of them for super effective and stab damage, taking out the Ariyama and almost KOing Primeape, allowing me to heal Tornadus up to 100%. He then takes a little damage from being poisoned, but don't worry about that. We now go for Bleak Wind Storm again, and I think I just go for Protect, or... Oh, no, yeah, I use... Okay, I have forgotten what even I did. Here we go. Bleak Wind Storm. And I think I used Pollen Puff offensively this turn. Yeah, I did. Because Pollen Puff can be used both defensively to heal your Pokemon or offensively to damage other Pokemon. And so I figured I would take out this Brute Bonnet with it in case it lived, which it did. So, very useful strategy on my part there. Outcoming Carrot's last two, Scovillain and Torkoal. Torkoal overwriting my Rain with Sun, only for me to just overwrite the Sun again with more Rain. And going for a nice Spore on Torkoal, who can now do nothing. And at this point, the game is pretty much won. We just need to slowly finish off this Torkoal. Scovillain, I'm not too worried about, because he will take super effective damage from Bleak Wind Storm here. And this Scovillain was holding a Life Orb, so he then KOs himself to Life Orb recoil damage. Very, very unfortunate indeed. And now it's just this asleep Torkoal against the world, pretty much. So, yeah, but he does not survive another Bleak Wind Storm, giving me another win, and bumping Carrot down to the loser's bracket to go up against Goose for a rematch, because they have battled each other already in this tournament. But this battle does turn out ever so slightly differently. So, let's watch their rematch battle now. They're both leads getting switched up, going for Farigiraf and Torkoal on Carrot's side, and Garchomp and Sneasel on Goose's side. Garchomp immediately switching out for Swampert. Sneasel hitting Farigiraf for decent damage, but immediately getting annihilated by Eruption from Torkoal. And Farigiraf setting up the Trick Room to make Torkoal now incredibly fast instead of incredibly slow. Going for the Helping Hand and Trick Room combo. Very much would have benefited from Terra Fire there. I think if he had done Terra Fire, Swampert probably would have been KO'd. But I'm not exactly sure. I haven't run any calcs. But Garchomp, I can also say, would most likely have been two-shot if he'd been Terra Fire for both of those attacks. So, could have benefited from that, but still in a decent position currently. Outcoming Scovillain and Gardevoir. Both Torkoal and Scovillain going for Solar Beam. Torkoal taking out Garchomp, and Scovillain doing sizable damage to Gardevoir. Gardevoir retaliating with its signature spread move of Dazzling Gleam. I say signature just because I think that's the only move we've really seen it use in the entire tournament. Outcoming Hitmonchan, taking decent damage from a Solar Beam, and Gardevoir fainting to another Solar Beam. Scovillain, however, fainting to a crit close combat from the Hitmonchan. Quite unfortunate. Out now coming Hisui Typhlosion, but the inner focus on Hitmonchan makes him not flinch from Ariyama's Fake Out, being a very, very impressive play at the end, turning the battle a bit in Goose's favor. Outcoming Brute Bonnet, getting the buff from the sun, but also getting one-shot by close combat, as Ariyama gets finished off by Flamethrower, turning the battle entirely in Goose's favor, coming back from a, 4-2 down to 2-1. So, major comeback from Goose, definitely making up for the misclick of KOing his own Pokemon in the first game. And yeah, the double attack from his two Pokemon against Primeape is absolutely nothing it can handle, giving Goose the win, putting him up against me in what could be the semifinals or the finals, depending on how things go. Where he is in loser's bracket, if he wins this match, we do another one, but where I am in winner's bracket, if I win this match, it is over, and I am the winner. So, let's see how this match goes. I choose to mix up my lead for a change and go with Tornadus and Tauros. And Goose sends out Garchomp and Swampert, who get intimidated by Tauros. I think I go for a Rain Dance on this first turn, or Tailwind, one of the two. Definitely one of the two. Probably Rain Dance, I think, though. I can't exactly remember, but let's see. Okay. Rain Dance it was. I thought so. And bulk up on Tauros. Going for a bit of a double setup turn from me. Tauros getting hit by Outrage from Garchomp and High Horsepower from Swampert, but healing up ever so slightly from its leftovers. At this point, I think I go for Tailwind or Bleak Wind. Yeah, Bleak Wind Storm. And I go for a Body Press on Swampert. Yeah, thought so. Who switches into Sneasel. Very unfortunate indeed. And Garchomp taking sizable damage and getting the speed reduction from Bleak Wind Storm as he hits Tornadus with Outrage. Incoming Hisui Typhlosion. I again go for Bleak Wind Storm, which is Tornadus' signature move that was added in Legends Arceus, if you are unaware, and it hits both sides of the field and does not miss in rain. I choose to go for a double spread move, doing Rock Slide with Tauros, doing pretty sizable damage and forcing Typhlosion's Berry to activate, and flinching Garchomp as he gets confused by his Outrage. Very unfortunate indeed. Bleak Wind Storm again from Tauros as we finish off, from Tornadus, sorry, and Raging Bull from Tauros to finish off both of those Pokemon in one turn. Outcoming Gardevoir and Hitmonchan. I just keep going for old reliable Bleak Wind Storm on Tornadus, and I think I go for Raging Bull on Gardevoir, I think? Maybe? Yes, that is what I did. Very nice, one-shotting the Gardevoir, and also one-shotting the Hitmonchan, leaving Goose with only one Pokemon against my entire team of 6. Very, very unfortunate indeed. I probably should have been leading with these two the entire time. But either way, I wanted to use the goofy double population bomb strategy initially, so Swampert, however, living my onslaught of attacks to get off an ever so slight amount of damage to Tauros, but definitely not living another turn, allowing me to get the win in this tournament, unlike in the last one. So yeah, we'll go ahead and show the final bracket here, which, as I said previously, had Goose won this match, we would have done a second one, and that would have been the true finals. But yeah, that was that, and here is a nice little final results of all the battles that everyone did. I had Carrot over here at my house with me, and when he saw this pop up, he was like, yo, you should screenshot that as well, so I did. Alrighty, I hope everybody enjoyed those matches. I certainly had a lot of fun playing them and watching them myself. Enjoyed the fact that I won this tournament. Oh, sorry, I've been doing this a little while. And yeah, I had a lot of fun playing those matches. I hope everybody had fun watching those matches, and I hope everyone has had fun watching all of my videos and streams over the past little while. And if you have, make sure to let me know that you have by dropping a like, comment, subscribe, hitting the bell, and sharing with a friend. I know that a good chunk of you are hitting that subscribe button, obviously, since that is the whole point of this video, is to celebrate the subscriber milestone, that's the word I'm looking for, that we hit. And yeah, I just want to say once again, thank you to everybody who has subscribed, and thank you to everyone in the future who may subscribe as well, who has gone back to watch this video. But yeah, I have been having a lot of fun with this channel in the time that I've been working on it. I have absolutely no plans to stop anytime soon. So yeah, stick around for more content from me if you want that, if you enjoy that, and share my content to any friends of yours that you may know that would like this as well, so we can grow this channel even larger and do even more big fun specials like this one, and just other fun stuff in general. So yeah, thank you all who have subscribed and who have stopped to watch this video and have stuck around this long. It means a lot to me, And yeah, I will see you all in the next video that we do. Yeah, see you all later.